Okay. All right. Do you like the beer I gave you?
Yes. It's not very peanut butter.
So you think it's false advertisement?
It's yes. And they claim to be I was telling you, America's favorite peanut butter.
Can you show
if I can reach it.
we're not sponsored, but
not
you know, if you
sponsored.
want to sponsor us, please,
It's not
send
weird.
us some
it's
money.
Good. Yeah, but they're very
It's called
confident.
Belching Beaver.
Yes.
Sounds like a name of a porn.
America's favorite peanut butter milk stout.
Yeah.
Silky smooth. So, hey.
Speaking of beaver, today we have 2 female here. Sorry. Cherrie.
Hi.
Do you go by Cherrie? Do you go by Cherrie at your workplace?
Cherrie,
You can put
or,
that
you speak Chinese, so you can say my name, which is Chen. But
Oh,
yeah.
Cherrie Chen.
Yeah,
We're gonna
Cherrie
call you
Chen.
Cherrie.
Yeah.
How did you pick your English name?
Well, I had it since high school, and my last name in Chinese starts with C.
Yeah.
So I was gonna go with something like C.
Yeah.
And and then I don't know, Cherrie was a popular name, from textbooks and stuff. It was like Nancy, or we had maybe 5 Charlies in class. Yeah. So now I spell it CHERRIE.
Yeah.
Because it was literally the fruit before. And I was gonna class it up a little bit. But yeah.
Class it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And a lot of names like Daisy or Cherry
Yes.
sounds like a stripper's name. Sorry.
Exactly.
Sorry
No,
to break the
that's
truth
fine.
to you.
That's what can I say my wife? That's what my wife says. It's a stripper name.
Ah.
So that's fine. It's not an official name. It's not.
Did you know before she told you?
No, I was in high school. I didn't know what an English stripper name is.
Yeah.
Now I do.
Now you do.
Yeah. I know. I know someone from college. Their middle name's Candy.
Yeah.
And I was like, at least I don't have that. So
I have a friend. I have a good friend. Her name. Okay, she married. She's Chinese. She married this Scottish guy, and the Scottish guy's last name is Cherry. That's the last name.
Okay.
And her English name is Daisy. So her name is Daisy Cherry.
That's funny.
Sounds like a fake name.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's actually a true name. My name is Zio, and I think I told this story to every one of my friends.
Yeah.
It's a mistake because it's supposed to be Zoe.
Oh, I was wondering. I was like, that's unique. I've never seen that before.
I'm too cool for school. No.
Well, Zio is cool.
It's because I have a foreign language teacher.
Okay.
And she asked us to pick a name from a dictionary. And I picked the last one, Zoe.
Okay.
And then I think she was being polite. She thought I was trying to be cool. So she just didn't correct me.
That's fun.
And I only found out later, many years afterwards, that it's supposed to be Zoe. But it was too late because I registered.
I'm sticking with it.
I registered everything.
Okay.
Yeah, with it. So how did you get here? How did you?
Well, I came here for college.
Yeah.
By here I mean, I guess you mean America.
Mm-hmm.
And it was in 2010. I went to UCI, University of California, Irvine. So here in Southern California, and then 4 years of college, and then found a job right after college.
Yeah.
It's been 5 years since. Now we're in 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you I know you got married later afterwards, but you got a H-1B. Did you have H-1B?
Actually, no, I never had to get one. Lucky me.
Oh, really?
Because I was a a STEM major. So you can do. There's a thing
3
called
years,
OPT.
OPT.
Yeah. So it was actually 28 months. That's the longest you can do it. So I did it for 1 year, and then the second year, my company was gonna have to get a work visa for me.
Okay.
But then I got married.
Ah.
So really, my boss really got the best out of the,
Wow. So you're really lucky.
Yes. No, I didn't have to do it because the thing about at that time, this was about maybe 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
To get an H-1B, you have to enter a lottery.
I think it's still the case, right?
Yes.
Did they change the rules?
I think they changed the rules, but I think there's still a lottery.
Okay.
I think before there was like a proportion. Each country, like they have to give out like this amount of work visa H1Bs to Chinese citizens, or like this many to Indian. I think recently there's a change where they changed it to first in first out.
What's the status of that? Okay, so have a little recap and context of what we are talking about. It's actually, I think they changed the law on H1B is to be based on the population of a country, right?
Yes, it used to be that.
Yeah,
right.
and then what is the change that favored, I think, people from India?
Yeah, so that was a big, whole, like, everyone's pissed off, besides Indians, I guess, Indian Americans.
Yeah,
but
so
I'm not sure.
I need to, I don't know the details of it. I think it's like before the new law, there are a huge backlog for people from India who want to apply for H1B visa.
Yeah.
You know, and then I think after the law, it's going to go by, what's the law? What's the change?
I believe, don't quote me on this, but, from what I read, is that it's first in, first out, which means they don't care which country you're from anymore.
Oh, okay.
Which means the country, there's a lot of Indian.
First come, first serve.
Yes, exactly. So there will be a lot more Indians then, because before there was a lot more Indian and Chinese, actually, people who apply. But everyone else will get a chance too.
India had a lot of like outsourcing company here, so I mean, I would say they're more resourceful on this subject matter.
I agree. Yeah.
I mean, I know some Chinese, people or people from other countries criticize them for being like using the loopholes and everything.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think they're just being resourceful.
The system's a loophole.
I mean, I'm not saying everything, there's nothing wrong here or nothing shady here, but I think it's just a tactic. So basically, there are a lot of like, Indian, like Indian outsourcing company in terms of computer science.
Yeah.
And we're in the tech bubble now, so there's always a huge need.
Yes, no, exactly.
So we have a lot of Indian, candidates, applicants, the huge backlog. So which means if the new law passed, it's first come, first serve, people from other countries going to have to wait
much longer, I believe.
Like how many years are we talking about?
I'm not actually sure.
I think a few years,
at least a few years.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
Yes.
So you and I are one of the lucky ones, because I got here through a marriage. It's funny because some of my guests or some people I talk to, like, they don't want to. There's a stigma on it. So you got married to stay here.
Well, maybe,
especially for young women, there's a prejudice because there are a lot of fraud going on.
Yeah. Wait, are you still married now?
No. Okay. I got a divorce. About 2 years ago.
Right. Okay.
2 years ago. Yeah.
Well, I think the thing about marriage is that society has made it a business deal. Not to get all deep on this, but like, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, and then,
But the reason why there's a stigma or whatever, people, because it's funny, every time I told people that, oh, how did you get here? So I got married. Then, but the marriage is no longer there. Yeah. And there people would ask me, oh, did you just get married for the green card? Yeah. And I don't blame them, because a lot of people kind of did that. Right. When you see like you don't see that anymore. But I would say in the 90s, you would see a lot of 20-something-year-old from, let's keep it at third world countries. Yes. Marry like a white guy in his 50s and 60s. Yeah. Not gonna say there's no true love at all. Yeah. But it's called Buy an Asian Bride. Some websites are called that. It's like a joke. Asian Bride Express. Exactly. And there's the funny thing is, I don't know who started the rumor, which I totally think I want to debunk the myth about Asian women being submissive. Oh no, yeah, I know. Who started the lie? Yes. Look at me. Do you think I'm gonna fucking police you? Yeah. I don't know who they think Asian women, they're not like, and people who would say that usually they're pretty misogynistic. They think the feminism in America is going too far. Yeah. Those American chicks, they're too independent or they're too bitchy. Yeah. Let's find an Asian girl. Asian wife. Who's more a woman who would clean the house and listen to bullshit. Yeah. No, it might be. I think about it, like, it might be a minority thing. Yeah. Because, like, Asian woman, being Asian, you're a minority already. You're, like,
sort of being taken advantage of.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure. Like Asian men don't get the same submissive, obviously, name.
I mean, I know the physical aspect, right? Like,
yeah.
You know, I look younger and I'm pretty
we're
small.
Generally smaller and like
yeah,
Asian women
we don't
young,
look that threatening.
Yeah.
You know, but then personality wise, I don't know about everybody I know.
Yeah.
Me, my friends were just Asian girls, Chinese girls I know, including Korean girls. There's nothing submissive.
Korean girls are scary.
I know.
Yeah. Korean girls are
scare shit out of me.
Yeah, no, I was in a sorority in college, and it was an Asian sorority.
Oh.
And the year I entered the board, like the president, the the pledge mistress, that's what we call them. They're all Korean. There was a Korean cabinet. And
they're doing really well.
Yeah,
they're doing really well.
They're all very independent, like fierce women.
Also in show business, right? I think one of the first, probably the first famous Asian female stand-up comic is Margaret Cho.
Yeah.
And she's bisexual.
Oh, is she?
I think so. I think she married this she married this German artist who's a guy, and she got a divorce. But I think she's bisexual, and she's a Korean woman. And that, I know now we have Ellie Wong, right? She's pretty famous, but that was in the 90s.
Yeah.
And before, I don't think there is. Maybe there is, but nobody made a name.
Yeah.
In the stand-up comedy world, like Margaret Cho, and she's Korean, and you know, for guys, you have Bobby Lee, you have Ken Jeong, they're all Koreans.
Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely.
I don't know. I think their personality is more outgoing.
Yeah. No, I don't think I've met most Korean. I know a lot of like American-born Asians because just for some
because
background,
you're from Orange County. Let's be honest for a second.
Exactly, and then also UCI. UCI also stands for, besides University of California Irvine, is University of Chinese Immigrants. It's not,
Crazy Rich Asians, University of Crazy Rich Asians.
Yeah, but there is a lot of Asians, and most of them are American-born, Asians, and they're not just international students like myself. But therefore, I got to meet a lot of them, and I don't remember even like most Korean Americans I met are pretty fierce and like
one of my best friends is a Korean guy named Jamie, and
Jamie, okay,
I think I get along with Koreans better compared with Japanese, because I don't know how. I think Japanese people are really, I don't know, I think there's a bigger culture gap between Chinese culture and Japanese culture versus Chinese culture and American culture.
Well, I think so. About basically all the Korean, not to say this is like some
this is not generalization.
But most Koreans that I met in college, they all speak Korean fluently because they're made to, and they have to be proud of their culture. It's drilled into them, right? And most American Japanese I met are not so in touch with the culture back at home. But I mean, they're probably born here. But I think there was a whole thing of like, like maybe two generations back after World War II, it was like Japan, had failed and all that stuff. And then like, it wasn't a proud thing to be Japanese in America. So my wife, who's a quarter Japanese.
How did that happen?
I know, right?
So what is the quarter? So one of her grandparents?
Yeah, her grandmother.
From the mother's side?
On the father's side.
Okay.
Yeah, it was from Japan. And it was during the war, so they met.
World War II?
World War II, during the war.
Oh, Jesus.
I think it was shortly after the war, but it was during the, the American military was in Japan. So they met that way. And, they got married, came here. So they had several children, but they weren't taught Japanese. And, it was like it was a stigma that they're half Japanese because.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I mean, you're talking about your wife's parents, like.
Yes. Father side, yeah. So like they weren't like supposed to be proud to be Japanese, I think. So there was
because
a whole
of
because of the
I can
war,
understand
right?
that.
Yeah.
I think if you're half Japanese in China, even today, you still face that kind of stigma for different.
Probably,
for actually similar reasons. World War II.
Yeah. No. Exactly. Yeah. So they've got it beaten out of them.
Wow.
Unfortunately. So I love Japan as a country. Like I've been there,
Japanese culture is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So but I think that might explain to why most Japanese Americans
What about your wife? Like, does she love Japanese culture?
She loves Japanese. She's like a giant nerd.
Japanese.
She learned. She never, because in the family no one speaks Japanese, right? Because they were not supposed to be Japanese. They're supposed to just be American. And everyone, like, they've got like a military family tradition, so it's like very red-blooded American.
Oh, really?
But my wife,
like Republican. Like a Patriots or
okay, some Republicans.
That's really interesting.
So my wife is very liberal.
Of course,
on the most part.
Yeah,
of course. But she is like a giant nerd. Hope it's okay that I say that. No, I'm telling my wife that.
Yeah.
And she took Japanese class.
Anime,
lots of anime watching. Took Japanese class in college.
Yeah.
So we went to Japan like twice in the past 2 years. Mm-hmm. And obviously, because we're Chinese, so I can read the kanji, the Chinese characters of it, and I don't speak any Japanese. And she can speak Japanese.
Oh, that's perfect.
I know, right? So between the two of us, we can go around Japan.
That is perfect.
Yeah, so,
wow.
Yeah.
So you married? Okay. So can we talk about like how did you guys meet? And
yeah, that's fine. We met in college. Actually. She is 4 years older than me.
Yeah.
So I really felt like it was luck that we were in college at the same time. Mm-hmm. Because she went to, I think she took 2 years of college and then went to the military for 4 years, and then came back.
What does she do in the army? Like the Air Force?
She was in the Signal Corps. So another nerdy thing.
Okay.
Doing IT for the army, which I actually think is pretty cool. Mm-hmm. And then she came back, and then she spent another 2 years in college, mm-hmm. and that's when I was in college too.
Okay.
So then we met each other.
Yeah.
And then when I was graduating, she was already working at this company that I currently work at. And she's like, hey, we're hiring, mm-hmm. So I sent me my resume. Then I got a job, very lucky. Because, it was during the summer. So mm-hmm. It was in a couple weeks mm-hmm. after that, if I didn't get a job, because I didn't start applying down here yet, because, I'm in tech. So it's I was going to go to the Silicon Valley, mm-hmm. where all the job is, where everyone I know is, and then find a job there. So
I'm actually from the Bay Area. It's way more expensive there.
Yes, I'm sure.
But I think if you're from OC, Orange County, you won't have a hard time adjusting to that, because there are a lot of Chinese there.
Yeah.
There are a lot of Chinese there.
How long were you how many years were you in
so this is my timeline. I moved here when I was 23. Okay. I think it was 2015. Yeah. And then I got married. We were dating for a year and a half before. My ex is American, also from a deep South. Freaking Republican family. Yeah. I'm not going to shit on his family in public, which I already did.
You can make jokes out of it.
Oh yeah, I have like an hour material about how shitty his family is. Anyways, we got married, and then he works in the startup scene. Okay. He works for a venture capital firm. Okay. So sounds fancy, right? Yeah. But he's an associate. He doesn't have that much money. Okay. I wish he has money. Yeah. Otherwise, the marriage would last, right? So that's why the first stop for me in America is the Bay Area, not San Francisco. I think we lived in San Mateo. Okay. That's the first city I lived in, and then shortly after that, South San Francisco. Okay. Basically, places like that, and the company he worked for is a China America joint venture.
Oh, okay.
So which means we have a lot of people coming from China, try to pitch their ideas and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I spent almost 3 years, 3 years in the Bay Area. Then I moved down here because I wanted to do writing and comedy since the beginning. And there is a comedy scene in San Francisco. Actually, San Francisco has one of the best comedy festivals. There's a Sketch Fest, Cluster Fest. They're all in San Francisco, but if you really want to do it for real, you got to move to either New York or LA. Yeah. That's also one of the biggest reasons why we broke up,
Oh, because you wanted to pursue this.
That's just one reason. There are a lot of reasons, Do you have 4 hours?
Getting to do you have 4 hours? We can talk about marriage for
it's like a fucking
another
Maury,
day. I have
a fucking Maury show, Oprah episode. Yeah. So
I'm happily married. Yeah. Just saying. Yeah. But there's a lot to talk about.
That's pretty rare. There's pretty rare. Yeah. So and then I moved here. I got a divorce and then moved here. But you're happily married. And it kind of, I kind of surprised me when when you told me that your parents didn't even know. You know.
So I don't know.
I mean, they know you're married.
They know that I'm married.
They think you're married to a guy.
They think I'm married to a guy.
But in fact,
it really worked out in my favor because now they think I'm like settled. I've got a job. I stay in America. I don't.
Yeah, it's perfect.
I got married.
They're bragging to their neighbors now.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, exactly. So my cousin, I have like older cousins who are not married.
Yeah.
And like at like Chinese New Year dinner table, it's like they're getting all the heat.
Yeah,
not
they're
me.
like I'm
like, fine.
So to give a little bit context.
Yeah.
You're gay, right?
I am. I think maybe I'm bisexual.
Okay, maybe you're bisexual.
Man before.
Yeah, and then your wife is actually a trans woman.
Yes.
But he didn't really do the surgery or anything.
She didn't do the surgery.
She didn't do. Sorry.
She hasn't done the
pronouns.
surgery yet. Yeah.
The surgery. And I have I can defend myself, not because of the political correctness. Is I mix up pronouns all the time.
Yeah, well, it's the language thing.
Because it's in Chinese. It's ta.
Yeah,
it doesn't. It sounds exactly the same. So I mix it up all the time.
Yeah.
So then, but she didn't do the surgery.
No.
So she looked for your parents. She looks like a guy. And then you didn't tell them about the whole. I think they would be really confused if you tell them.
Yeah, it's a lot of. I was thinking, like, do I really want to go through the explaining and like education?
What purpose does it serve?
Yeah, it's fine.
So they think you just married a.
They think I got married to a guy. This is a perfectly
happy, traditional heterosexual marriage.
Yes, I don't think my parents knows that they don't know that I like women as well.
But does it feel like a ticking bomb to you? Sometimes, like, do you have moments like you kind of wanna tell them?
Well, so me and my parents, if you have 4 hours for that?
Yeah.
Complicated Asian families.
Yeah.
So I don't have like it's not like a traditional happy family for me with my parents. Yeah. So like we're fine now, right?
Yeah,
we talk on the phone and we chat all the time. But like, when I was little, I used to like withhold information from them all the time from my life.
Yeah.
And then I came here for college and it was like freedom. Yeah. It was so great. And distance makes heart grow fonder. I think that's the saying.
Yeah.
So it's like, do I really want to go through the trouble of telling them that, or do I just keep them at arm's length?
Yeah.
And they're happy. I'm happy.
I'm lying to my parents. I mean, I'm not lying to my mom. My mom knows everything about me. Yeah. I was lying to my dad. First, I withheld the fact that I got a divorce because divorce is such a disgrace.
Oh yeah.
In China, especially like I'm from a small town, right?
Yeah.
And I got married when I was 23. Got divorced when I was 25.
Young.
Even in here, people raise their eyebrows sometimes. Yeah. So I didn't tell him, and then I told him. But I didn't tell him. There's no way for him to understand the complicated reason.
Right.
So I lied. I said my ex-husband cheated on me, which is not true. He did not. He did not do that. I don't want to. I basically throw him under the bus. I lied, but I think it's a harmless lie. I never lied to anybody here. The only person I lied to is my dad. I said he cheated. So because any other reason would make him ask the question, why can't you just stay in the marriage?
Why can't you just stick with it? Yeah.
Why can't you just stick with it?
But he took it that, like, okay, if he cheated on you, you can get a divorce.
It's just end of the question. Because I basically victimized myself.
Right.
I made up a reason that's undeniable.
That's oddly...
Yeah.
I'm not sure sweet is the right word for it for your father.
But okay, so right? I'm going to China. We're taping it on January 4th. Yeah. 2020. So I'm going to China in 2 weeks. And I haven't been back for 2 years for the Chinese New Year, right? Okay. And I don't know. I don't think my parents, I don't know if they told the relatives or not.
Oh, because the relatives know that you were married.
Yes. But I never took my ex-husband back. I took my ex-husband back to China to meet my mom, but not my father's family.
Okay. Did he meet everyone else too, or just your mom?
No, just my mom. Okay. We went to travel. My mom actually really liked my ex, so she was pretty upset. Yeah, for different reasons. And so they still don't know. And I don't know, maybe... I don't know if my parents won't let them know or whatever. So
maybe if you ever get married again, just, be like, yeah, I'm still married.
Yeah, I didn't know the difference. It's just from one guy to the other guy.
Yeah.
You know, they can't even remember the name. But every time, like my boyfriend's name is Michael.
Yeah.
My mother would ask, "How's Jack?" Like, who the fuck is Jack? My ex's first name is not Jack either.
Yeah.
It's like,
I don't know. Have you ever dated Jack?
It was just like this
Did
very
it start
common.
With a J?
I think it's from Titanic, like for Chinese people.
Oh, Jack and Rose.
Yeah, Jack and Rose. Like that's like the first.
Yeah.
Is a Jack or Tom because Tom and Jerry.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. He always, she always like, hey, his house Jack. So his name is not Jack.
Yeah.
No. How's
every
Tom?
white man is
How's
Jake.
Tom?
Yeah. Every other white man is Tom.
And the third guess will be correct, Michael. Yeah, Jack, Tom, Michael.
Oh, Michael. Yeah.
Yeah, she had problem. So are you gonna, just hide it forever?
Maybe. See, here's the thing. I'm not trying to actively hide it. That's my defense, anyways. Because I'm just like, because I refer to the name and then it's a neutral name.
Yeah.
They don't speak English, so they don't necessarily know, and they don't really.
It's called
interact
sweet oblivious.
Because there's you know what I mean. So the language barrier really worked out in my favor here. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Are they gonna push you to have a kid or something?
Oh, are they? Are they going to? They already have me, but it's like get married, get a.
Are you gonna have
kid.
kids?
I don't know.
But you can still have kids together, right?
Well, the hormone therapy is a complicated thing.
Okay.
I'm sure if you wanted, you could.
Yeah. If you adopt one, make sure it's half white so your parents won't know.
Right? So
oh my God, that's just lie after lie. Jesus.
Yeah, that's very elaborate. But I see them once a year if they come here and go back. It's like totally can pull that off, right?
Yeah.
10 months later. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm 27, we're the same age.
We're still young, but wait 3 years, your parents are just gonna be like.
Yeah, no, they're already. Because my aunt, ever since they allowed, it was one child policy for our generation. And a few years, ago, they were like, okay, have as many babies as you want. It was 2 at first. Yeah. And now they're like, okay, we're going to have a problem on our hands. But my aunt, my mother's younger sister, had a second baby, and she was in her early 40s. So it was a very courageous thing.
Of yours?
Yeah. So so now I have a baby cousin who's 6 months old.
Like, oh, what about you?
Yeah, they're like, TikTok. Yeah, you're the one who should have a baby. I'm like, no, it's fine. Just let I don't
understand the Chinese people's just their obsession with having kids.
Yeah,
not a lot, like 1 or 2, but you gotta have one. But now, you're allowed to have 2. Yeah. So even if you have the first child,
they'll be like, where's the second one?
Yeah, the second one. You better make sure there's not a big age gap.
Yeah, exactly.
None of your fucking business, lady.
It's fine. I can just live my life. And,
even my mother.
Who's Lily?
Yeah, I'm divorced, right? And she's like, I said, I'm not going to get married. I don't think I will ever get married again.
Yeah.
Or at least not anytime soon. Okay. She said, you got to have a baby before you're 30. You're already 27. So I said, I'm not married.
Yeah.
But she said, but you have a boyfriend. He said, yeah, but I don't want to,
Yeah.
She's like, well, you can just have a kid and then you just drop the kid in China and I would just help take care of the kid for you. What are you talking about? Are you crazy?
Free childcare is not a reason to have kids.
Yeah, you don't really have to. You don't really have to be responsible for the kid. Just lay one out like an egg.
Exactly.
I preserve it for you.
No, it's fine.
And then, and then she's like, it's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna teach him or her Chinese, and then when she or he is 12 or something, you drop it back to America, and then the kid will learn English.
They have a plan,
and then it will work.
All plan out for you.
And then they're already going to school, so your life is not gonna change at all. Oh, you're not gonna change at all.
Yeah,
that's the biggest bullshit.
That's funny.
Yeah,
it's gonna change
every time. Yeah, and also I'm also the only child, so.
Yeah, exactly. The pressure.
The pressure. But I got to, it's nice that your parents they're still together, right?
They are, that's another, do you have another 4 hours? Sorry,
yeah.
I'm going to keep saying
my parents got a divorce when I was 8.
Oh, so they are divorced
so
now,
I don't have to deal with them collectively, which is pretty sweet.
Okay.
So, and the thing is I live with my mom and there's a lot of fucking misery and drama in my family. So. Right. And I pretty much started to work at the second year of my college. I didn't really ask money from my family.
You supported yourself. since then.
The sweet thing about standing on your own feet is they can't control you anymore.
Yes.
Because you can say fuck off and just don't contact them.
Yeah.
And they will chicken. They will chicken out.
Yeah.
But what are they going to do? Not contact you?
They can't manipulate you.
So
anymore,
any decision I made, I never consult with them. I tell them afterwards.
Yeah.
Like I give them a notification. So this is what I'm doing.
Here's what I'm doing.
Like every step I make with the job I took, the school I go to, going to America, got married, got divorced, moved down to LA, whatever. I just tell them afterwards. Yeah. And there's nothing they can do. I actually feel bad for them, but it's good for my own mental health.
It's for your sanity. Also, I don't know. You don't have to feel bad for them because I think. Like lots of my friends, or my cousins in China, not to name names. There's this whole thing about like, how do I translate this? Like there is no separation. Like you get married or you grew up, like you turn to an adult, and you're still like a baby in their eyes.
You're their baby girl, baby boy forever.
I know, and everyone's upping everyone's business, and only if you have financial independence, then you can make your own decisions, right? But like half of I knew you from Douban, which is Chinese social media. There's this like relationship like thread, right? Like people talk about their relationship problems. And I was reading it and I was like, like 80% of these problems is like because mother-in-law, father-in-law.
There's a group. There's a group. It's kind of like a Facebook group, but on the Chinese forum.
Yes.
And the name is called 父母皆祸害. It means parents are all toxic.
Yes. I think that got closed down though.
Oh, okay. But it was just like posts of people ranting about like their toxic parents.
Yeah.
Like some are really fucked up.
Yes.
Some are like physical abuse.
Physical abuse, mental
of course,
abuse,
mental abuse, that's like a default, right?
Yeah.
Like physical abuse.
Yeah, knows that.
Like physical abuse, and just stuff. But there are also some posts just, you're being a little brat, You're just being a bitch. But a lot of them, like, I'm like, whoa.
No, I definitely understand.
Yeah, so on the fucked up spectrum, I don't think my family is that. Maybe a 4.
Not on the far right.
No. I've seen 9, and trust me, I've seen like, you have no idea. Like any time that I think this is the worst parents I've ever seen, I can always meet a new person and he or she would tell me a story about
their parents,
his or her parents. I'm like, wow, you just raised the bar again. Yeah.
Well, I have some stories to tell. If I don't think
just
my parents
tell it. This is the time.
Yeah. My parents, because you were just saying, oh, your parents like seem educated and all that stuff.
Yeah.
My parents, they came here ever since college. I decided to stay right after college, and they were like, they've been coming here maybe once a year to visit me and stuff. And 2 years ago, I believe, they were here. And then I got a call because I have an aunt like who lives up in San Francisco. Yeah. So they were driving from like my relative's house to me down here. And my dad loves driving and loves road trip and everything that's American. I think he thinks that he's like a cowboy, even though he's not. He's a civil servant working in China, but that's fine. He's got this
cowboy.
Yeah, right. But I got a call like in the middle of the workday. Yeah. That day they were supposed to drive down to me, and it was my dad saying, "Oh, your mother's getting arrested." And I was like, what do you mean she's getting arrested?
For what?
Like, from what? I thought you were just driving here. Like, did you get pulled over?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, we were arguing. So basically what happened was my parents has a troublesome relationship. They're not officially divorced,
but they're better off divorced.
I really think so. Okay. And it's like really messed up for me to say that. Yeah. Like ever since like 5, I'm like, you should get a divorce. You should get a divorce.
Jesus.
Yeah. So, but they're not. I don't think they will ever get a divorce because it's such a stigma around it. And my mom was like, oh, what are we gonna do? Yeah.
Start over?
Yeah. No, exactly. Everyone's gonna say something. Yeah. And then, so they argue a lot. Whenever they're together, there's trouble, and they don't actually live in the same city. Yeah. So I'm from the city called like a small city in Jiangsu province.
Okay, that's a pretty rich province.
Yeah. And then I, ever since middle school, I was educated in Nanjing, which is the capital of the province. Yeah.
And it's also the old capital of China for many years.
Yes. Yeah. And Nanjing massacre.
The rape of Nanking.
Yes. Yeah. So
that's the official translation. The rape of Nanking.
Is
I thought it's
Nanking
a joke.
Massacre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because rape has different reasons, but back to your story.
Right. Yeah. So So my mother lives in Nanjing. My father lives in the city that we came from, and then so they don't live in the same city, and they see each other once a week. But whenever they're together, so it's
why do they have to see each other once a week?
I know.
Who would know?
I think it's a codependency. That's my theory, anyways.
Oh God.
So anyway, so when they're together, lots of verbal violence, maybe physical violence. I'm not gonna contest to it, but basically they were driving from NorCal to me, and then they were in a parking lot and they were arguing in the car. And I think someone pushed someone. Basically, there's arms waving, probably. And so the car next to them called the 911. So I was like, that must be really bad, because why would we, you know what I mean?
You're just like
call
bickering
the police for someone else. So that must have been pretty bad. And then they would never admit to it. They were like, oh, we're just arguing. So then the police came, right? And my parents not understanding, because you know how like law enforcement in China is a different.
How's there are Englishes? They don't speak English.
My dad is like Google Translator, like he's like he's like yes, but they basically don't speak English.
But it's hard to explain for themselves.
It's very hard to explain. And then the police came, they didn't, you know what I mean? And then they were. Like Chinese police is different if it comes like domestic violence issues.
They're like, none of my fucking business.
Yeah, like just stop arguing. You'll be fine.
Yeah, just next time you beat your wife, just find a place that's more quiet.
Yeah, exactly. So the good thing is that in America it's very serious.
Yes.
So when the police came, they were still arguing, and the police gotta separate them, right? Sorry, I'm just like. And then my mother apparently was still shouting at my dad at the presence of the police sitting next to her. And then they had to separate them, and then they got a translator on the phone with my mother because she speaks Chinese, and they're like, do we have anyone who speaks Chinese? Okay. And then the translator asked on the phone, did you beat him? Right? Yes. Were you arguing? Did you beat him? And my mother says, yeah, I did. Like,
fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. You know? And I was like, okay, well, you know, then they gotta arrest them, because I think in America it's like if there's a police call about domestic violence, don't ask me how I know so much about this because of this incident. We have to get a lawyer and everything. But basically it's like in America, if the police come, most of the time they have to take one person away, because back with them, because like who knows, anyone can just shoot at someone after the door closes, so they can't just leave it alone. So they took my mother got arrested in America.
Oh my God.
And
but they didn't charge her
no,
with
they eventually dropped the charge because my dad, being the victim, didn't have visible bruises or damage.
Maybe just some push or whatever. I don't know.
So and then my dad was telling me all this on the phone now, just like, oh my God, like I can't believe this is happening. And then I was like, Dad, this is actually serious. You have to put my mom on the phone or something. I have to talk to her so she doesn't talk to anyone. Because don't
without
talk to
lawyer.
The police. Like here's the America.
Fucked him up so bad.
I know, right? So, but I didn't talk to her on time, and then she confessed to it, like very proudly. And then my dad on the phone, I think he was still pissed at her because of the argument. Totally losing the big picture here, and he's like, at least she will learn a lesson now. And I was
Jesus.
like, Dad, 2 years of therapy now.
Oh my God.
So that's
they're still together.
They're still together. I don't think they're gonna separate.
Wow.
So
maybe they love each other. Just this is their way of love.
Maybe it's
I mean, love has a lot of forms.
It will be a very unique form of love that I'm not sure I want to experience.
Not every type of love is healthy, but I think they love each other.
Yes. So that's the story of my parents and American law enforcement. If we're talking about immigrant and then.
Is it hard for you to communicate with them, like deeply?
In a way, yeah. So like I've been in therapy. Like just seeing a therapist and talk, right?
Yeah.
Which I initially I was like, why would I do that? That's like like a rich people thing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not depressed or anything. Like, why would I do that? But then I was like, okay, maybe it's helpful to talk to someone who's not in your life.
Yeah.
About your life.
Yeah.
And then I talk basically like 90% of this is my parents.
Yeah.
And I do think I'm at a stage. I'm sorry, I'm not making this into a therapy session for me.
No, I used to go to therapy too.
Right. Yeah. So, but it's like, it's sort of a thing where in the Chinese culture, everything is so tied together.
Yeah.
So like even though we got here by talking about financial independence, right?
Yeah.
It's like financial independence really can give you finally a place of your own in life, and goes, okay, so like I may still love you, you know, like we're still family, you're still my parents, but like this is my life now.
Yeah, the distance sometimes helps.
Yeah. Exactly. And you don't have to tell them. So like obviously, so like they paid my college tuition and everything. But
that was a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. I'm very thankful because lots of my like American friends have, you know, student loans and stuff. So
that's the thing about like the reason why I started to pay for my own college. But in China, college is cheap, so it's nothing to brag about. Since the second year of my college, is because they got nothing on me.
Right.
They can't even
you're your own person.
Yeah. During the argument, they can't even say, "Hey, we paid for this." Because no, you didn't.
No, I know, right?
Yeah.
So. And then I almost think like it's like then you can treat your parents like adults and they can treat you like adults.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't want to accept that you're independent. Exactly.
You have more bargaining chips.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say always to be harsh to them. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, you know, a lot of people find it hard to say no.
Oh, yeah.
To say fuck off. Not literally fuck off. To just say, hey, back off.
None of your business, yeah.
Like I was just talking to my mom, and she's being really needy and not just needy, like not reasonable, like a spoiled child. Okay. She's like, okay, so I bought her gifts for her birthday, right? Mm-hmm. She's like, I want this purse with this color, and then it's sold out online. It's Black Friday. Okay, I was like, okay. Well, there's a lot of purses. It's Michael Kors. It's like a pretty popular brand. Okay, can you just pick another one? No, I want that one. Okay, this color is out of stock. Yeah. Can I just go with this color? It looks good too. Yeah. No, I just want that one. Can you go to the physical shop, you know, in a shopping mall and find out if they have it? I said, well, they carry it online. It's really hard. Usually it's really hard to find it in a real shop. She said, well, you have to go. So I went to 3 different shops. Okay. I couldn't find it. And she said, I just want that. And I to a point, no, look, lady, you either get it or you don't. Do you want a gift or not?
Well, you know? I think.
And then she's like, well, you come back, you have to buy gifts for every relative of yours. It's like, no, I don't give a shit about these people. Yeah. Seriously. Like my relationship with them is like, I wish they're healthy. Yeah. I wish they don't die. Yeah. I wish they don't have bad things happen to them, but that is it.
Yeah, that's the only connection.
They never give me gifts. Why the hell because the mentality of her is not being nice. This is the way to brag.
Oh yeah, it's all about the face, right? It's the face culture.
It's like, hey, my daughter, she came from America. Yeah, and she brought everybody gifts
home,
from America. Yeah, which is made in China. I'm pretty sure they're all made in China. Yeah, you know. And she's like, oh, you have to do this. I'm like, no. I said, stop talking about it. Yeah. And then she just stopped. You
drew a boundary.
No, you have to. Right. You just have to do that. Mm-hmm. Damn. Yeah. Wow, we talk about so many fucked up stuff. Yeah. I forgot. I wanted to talk about the job hunting part. Yeah. So you're at a point in your career that you feel a little bit burned out. So what do you do first of all?
So I'm a product manager.
In a tech company?
At a tech company. Okay. And so in my particular company, we do things that like, you know, what we call B2B. Mm-hmm. So like, you know, enterprise level. So we talk to others.
Like software solutions?
Software solutions, okay. Yeah. So like, for example, we'll talk to a company, it might be a manufacturer or something. Mm-hmm. And they go, we need a smart management system in our factory. Yeah. Can you design it for us? Yeah. Then we'll design it for them and we'll be like, okay, so you should have, you know, I don't know, maybe iPad stations like here and here in your factories. We'll go there, evaluate it. Yeah. And and then we would draw up their actual manufacturing process and tell them how maybe they can optimize it with the software.
So is it like some automation thing to save there's a lot of human resource cost?
I'm not sure about human resources, but it's sort of like consulting based thing. So we do software, but the software is a way to improve their efficiency and business process. Yeah. So that's my job.
So you mentioned earlier you got a job through internal recommendation from your now wife. Yes. But back then you were
we were friends.
You were friends. Yeah. So I guess but what is the process? Because it's really hard for immigrants.
It's really hard.
Especially when you don't have like a legal working status yet.
Yeah. So it's like a, like a rope around your neck, really. It's not too exaggerated because I got lucky. But before I got this job, really, so, obviously I was in Southern California.
Yeah.
But right after I graduate, I was going to go up to the Bay Area.
Yeah.
And because that's where all the tech jobs are.
Yeah.
And I'm a STEM major. So I was in science.
STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics.
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then, which means if you graduate from an American college, you get, at our time, it was 28 months of working without a H-1B visa.
Yeah.
So as long as you're working in a tech company.
If you're non-STEM, like your major in social science, I believe it's 1 year or 2 years? 1 year.
12 months, I think.
12 months of
1
OPT.
year, yeah.
So which means within the 12 month, or for you, within 28 months, you can work.
Yeah.
But after that,
visa, you got to get a work visa.
You got to get a work visa.
Yeah.
And the work visa is really hard to get. If you don't get it, get yourself out.
Exactly.
You have to leave America.
Yeah.
So, and then the work visa is the H-1B visa
called H-1B,
we're talking about.
Yeah. So there's a lottery. Yeah. And for people like undergrad, so like there's a lottery pool.
Yeah.
But people with higher degrees have a better chance of getting the visa. So obviously I only graduated undergrad at that time.
You didn't go to graduate school?
No, yeah. Okay. So that was my backup plan. That was like, okay, so 28 months, if I don't get a work visa, then I got to go back to school and apply for grad school.
What did you study in school? What did you major? Computer science?
My major was called informatics. So it's sort of a...
to make infomercials.
Information technique. Yeah, so it's for human-computer interaction, which is a specialty.
Okay.
So basically, it's like
人
half
机交互. Okay, human.
人机交互. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's like so the courses were like half programming classes.
Yeah.
And half like design classes.
Oh,
and you have to take economics. Basically, like made for PM.
Yes,
line of
that's
work,
like project manager position.
Yeah, exactly. So so that actually, I was pretty happy about my education.
Yeah.
In that sense.
Why did you choose that? You chose that specifically for the reason of employment, or you love that major?
I think maybe it's both.
Okay.
That's one of the reasons, like, of my recent doubt about my line of work is that obviously I wanted to come to America for college.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to get a job and afterwards here.
Yeah.
And then the only way you do that is becoming, working tech to get a work visa.
It's very hard. I would say 10 times easier compared you study art history.
Yeah, exactly. It would be very, very hard if you study art history or economics.
Not even art history, because I have a friend, I think I told you last time.
Yeah.
He studied marketing, which is non-STEM, right? Yeah. And he managed to get a job. He got lucky, and he got the H-1B visa. He won the lottery.
Good
and
for
he got
him.
a visa.
Yeah.
And then the company collapsed. And he had this like... So he had to work for like a plastic surgery, clinic.
Okay.
Gearing towards Chinese women, Chinese clients.
Yeah.
And basically, I don't think he likes his job at all, because basically you're just do the marketing for. Hey, you need a nose job. You need to get a new boob. And I don't think he was treated well.
Okay.
But he doesn't have a choice.
It's tied to that's the thing about H-1B. Excuse me.
It's okay. Yeah.
So because it's tied to the company, right? So like if you switch your job to another company, you have to find another one that would give you an H-1B visa, that pay all the fees.
Yeah.
Do the lottery. I'm actually not sure if the lottery
and then you have to. And the thing is, he already renewed his H-1B for one time, so now he had to get a green card.
Yeah.
Because you can only renew the H-1B visa for another time, right? 2 times.
I think,
6
2
years?
times. Every time is 3 years, so
3
6 years total.
6 years. After 6 years, you better get a green card. Otherwise, you have to leave.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't understand. Like, it's like you have those deadline after deadline. So if you don't do A before B, go back home. Yeah. And that's always on your mind.
Even though, like, for me, it's pretty lucky because I got a job right after college. Like, like before
You're
my
really
graduation
lucky.
ceremony.
Yeah.
But my life for the first 3 years of working was like, okay, so like this is the first 12 months.
Yeah.
And during that 12 months, so it's not like automatically you get the OPT, like which is the time that you automatically get to work as a science major. but you have to apply for it.
Yeah.
So the first time you apply for 12 months, right?
Yeah.
You get that. And then the next extension is actually 17 months.
Yeah.
And then you apply for that. And then the next one is 28 months and then you apply for that. So you have to apply for it like 3 times, and every time it takes several months.
And
the
then
whole thing.
the
So my life was
immigration bureaucratics is just bullshit.
Yeah.
Like I remember my green card was mailed to the wrong address because
Really? Yeah.
it was returned because I type in the right address.
Okay.
It's apartment building with an apartment number, but their system has a glitch.
Okay.
So not just me, it happens to a lot of people. They just didn't input the apartment number.
Oh,
so
they
it
don't
reached to my building. There's no apartment number, and it would just directly go back to USPS, and there's no notification. When I found out, it's on the way back, and you would think, okay, just resend it, right?
Yeah.
But there's so many returned, letters because they're incompetency, because they're not competent.
Yeah.
It takes 6 months.
Yeah.
Usually to 8 months for them to
that's
mail
a
it
big
back
problem,
to you.
'cause you
And
can't
what
leave
if
the
I need to
country.
travel?
Yeah, you can't
What
leave
if
the
I need to
country.
work and whatever? And I have to find I have to go to a House of Representative, like a senator.
Oh, okay.
Office, to tell them. And one of the senators, actually, I think his name is Adam Chief. I think he's involved in the Trump impeachment thing. Like Trump really hated, not him personally, but his somebody from his office really helped me. I think they called immigration to kind of fast track the whole process,
Yeah.
and it got back to me. So, yeah, it was.
I
have like 10 hours of material on USCIS, the immigration.
Yeah, it's
bureaucracy. They just I want to give them the middle finger. Like I'm pretty sure it's not just me.
No, I'm sure it's not. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like, even if they make it easy on you, which they don't.
Yeah.
It's still like that you're not you're an alien in this country.
Yeah.
And then like it's a time bomb, like almost. So and you never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I got pretty lucky because I got married, not just for the green card.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. We have to do the disclaimer every time. Right? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, really wanted to get married.
It's a real marriage, though. It's a real marriage.
Yeah.
Because people, the default thought, ooh, you just did it for.
Yeah. Yeah, so then I didn't have to get a work visa, but that was the year that I had to get a work visa. Otherwise, my 27 months is gonna run out very soon. I think by the next year.
Yeah.
So then, so I told my boss, okay, I got married and we don't have to do the H-1B. I really think it was a big relief on him too, because it's like, as a small company that I work at, it costs a lot of money to apply for a work visa.
Yeah.
And
they
takes
probably don't want to
months
sponsor you.
Yeah, and they don't, and then they sponsor you, and then you're tied to the company.
I know a lot of companies, especially some Chinese companies, would do shady things like you have to pay them to sponsor you. It's like is
that legal?
No, it's not.
That's legal.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Of course, it's not.
Yeah,
but a lot of things are being done.
Yeah,
that are illegal.
Yeah,
not gonna name names, but there are companies who do that, and then they pay, and then there are even companies because for H-1B visa there's a income like threshold. Okay. Like the salary has to reach that.
Oh yeah, you have to reach a certain. We had to look up.
There's a list. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a list, and then you go like, here's the average. I'm not sure if it's even the average. I think there's a number you have to meet to prove that you're qualified.
Yeah, and then they have to prove that for your position, they have to hire you instead of American citizen. Like there's something about you that they just couldn't find among American citizens.
Yeah, which is
which means it needs to have. Yeah, it can't be any job. You can't say, "Oh, I'm going to be a bartender." So no,
plenty of Americans can be bartenders.
Yeah. So you need to do that, and some companies, shady companies, not all of them, a small portion of them what they would do is they will have like a rebate, like they will pay you this, but they, like for example, if the threshold is 50K.
Oh, so they're not really paying you that much.
Yes, but on the paper they'll pay you 50 grand,
okay.
W-2, everything, and then backdoor, you pay them back the rebate 20 grand or whatever, because they only want to pay you 30 grand.
Oh, that sucks.
But people do it. So
I guess
they're like, hey, do you want it or do you want to go back home?
Yeah, gotta take a deal. Yeah, man, that's shady. Yeah,
it's just like I feel like as an immigrant, especially when it comes to work, there's so many just hoops you have to jump through.
Yeah,
it's very stressful.
It's very stressful. Yeah, for sure.
And I think my friend, he was going through this really, really tight. He still hasn't figured out.
The friend who works at the cosmetics doctor's office.
Yeah. I don't know his plan. I think the H-1B is gonna run out. And then
can he apply for a green card?
Yes, but the company has to sponsor him, and they're not like really. They're not saying they're not gonna do it, but they're not gonna say they didn't say they're gonna do it either.
Yeah.
So then you're like, do I want to talk to them about it?
Right.
And I don't want to push it because I need to keep this job.
Yeah.
But I need this to happen. Otherwise, I can't stay here.
Right.
Wow, it really sucks. So you say you're getting so you're getting lucky, right?
I got lucky, yeah.
So you're working there, and you started out as a software engineer.
As a programmer.
Yeah.
Software engineer. Yeah, and then I did that for a little bit over a year, I think,
Yeah.
and then I just transitioned into being a PM.
Why?
So like programming is a thing that I think I can do a decent job back in the days. But I see other programmers and like, some of my friends are up in NorCal and being programmers, and I don't know if I'm the best at it. And I do find that's the thing that you got to keep, like you always got to learn new things. Not to say that to be a PM, you don't have to learn new things.
Yeah.
But you do always have to keep up with it.
Because I think Python was like invented only like a few years ago.
Yes. Well, every year there's a new set of like thing that you have to learn. Especially,
like, Python
I was a front end
now,
engineer.
Yeah. Okay.
So
the easier one.
Exactly right. Yeah. So the easier one, but there's things change a lot faster in the front end than in the back end.
Yeah.
In general. So like there's
do you do
all
web
these new
design?
things.
Or
JavaScript,
you do web design. HTML.
So like maybe the back end will have an API like a PHP driven program.
Yeah,
and you write the website.
Yeah.
That's the front end for it. So like, what it looks like, how it interacts, human computer interaction, exactly my specialty. But then I don't know. And I realized I think I enjoy talking to people, like talking to clients.
Yeah.
Better than I enjoy just sitting there trying to execute the design.
That's why also there's stereotype about coders being like, antisocial or introverted.
I don't think you have to be antisocial. I just think you do have to, in a way,
enjoy the solid.
Or you have to enjoy the problem solving.
Yeah.
Like real, pure tech part of it. And I wasn't sure that was me.
So you pivoted to a PM.
Yeah.
And do you like your job?
For the most part, I do. But I think we're talking about like there's a burnout.
So this burnout, do you think is because of the job itself, or do you think it's just because you kind of lost?
I'm trying to figure that out, because going back to the work visa thing, now I have a green card.
Yeah.
Like you were asking whether I did it because this is industry, it's easy to get a work visa.
Yeah.
Or because I love it.
Yeah.
And I really honestly not sure at this point.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Because I've never considered a different option. Not like I don't like tech. I think I like tech.
So did you ask yourself if you were American citizen?
Yeah, right.
Would
so
you
now
still
I'm like,
choose the same career path?
There's a realization of me going, I can being another industry.
Yeah.
And I've never thought about that.
But there's a lot of, because you're in tech, so you probably can't see it from the outsider's point of view. There's a lot of perks that comes and benefits that come with it. The pay.
Tech job? Okay.
The pay, the demand, the market demand.
Yeah. Job security is definitely
the job
a thing.
Security. Yeah. I think tech is probably one of the only, industries now that still have that kind of benefits and perks.
That's true, yeah.
If you do like non-tech job, it's a pretty brutal job market.
Yeah.
I just find the difference between, because in China, I used to be a journalist.
Okay.
For foreign media outlets.
Yeah.
So I never had a in between jobs, time.
Right.
There's no like window that I'm out of a job. I was from one to the other, so I was super confident.
Okay.
I think I'm a hot,
hot
candidate.
item.
Yeah, in the market. And then I got here, and I tried to find a job, and I spent month after month, and then I just couldn't get a job.
Okay. In media, is that what you were?
Yeah. First I wanted to apply for like journalism job. I couldn't get it because although my English is not bad, but I'm not a native speaker.
Yeah.
But in terms of creative writing, would you rather hire American-born American who went to journalism school from, NYU or whatever,
right,
or some Chinese person that you never heard of from a place you never heard of, and
true.
from a university from another country you never heard of, you know, and has no American job experience. Right. And so I couldn't get that. And then there's also like the whole system is different. They have the ATS. What does it stand for? It's when you submit your resume, right? Okay. You went through internal recommendation, so you probably don't need to go through that. No. So they would do like when they post a job, there's like key requirements, job descriptions, and there's so many applicants to a point that they're not going to really look at your resume one by one by a human. So before a human,
so they just filter it.
They will filter it through a system called ATS. I think automatic tracking system. I don't know what it stands for. Right. It would be literally just scanning for keywords in your resume to just filter out most people. And then when you move to the next stage, like a human resource associate would take a look.
So you might not even make it to the...
You might not even make it. And so the trick is they're like training courses just gearing towards resume building. Is you have to make sure your resume has the same or synonyms of the key description, you know.
So you have to put certain keywords on it.
For example, if for your job, right, there's a program, you know, it's very detailed oriented, or they will mention certain language, right? C++, JavaScript. Of course, you have to have that in your resume. And then, you know, human, you know, computer interaction, like certain words, like have to match.
That's interesting because lots of them are just buzzwords. In a way as well. So and then there's job interviews. Right. You know, you're competing against Americans. Who are born here. True. Who knows how to behave, like how to read the cue. I have problems with that. I still do, I think. Because I don't know when to shut the fuck up. Because they won't tell you. They won't tell you. They're just trying to give you the physical cue of whatever, and you have to pick up on it, and I'm terrible at it. I think I might have a different problem than yours. So, because yours might be like, you're too confident or you're very confident. Do you think I have boundary issues. Boundary issues meaning, sometimes I'm too intrusive. I will say things like, whoa, who are you? I don't know you. Why do you ask me that? That's funny. Because I think like one thing after I entered the workplace is that like the Americans, like the born and raised Americans that I met at the workplace are generally very confident. You know, maybe it's like also like a male female thing. But like there are lots of people that I meet. Sometimes they don't know what they're talking about. No, they're exactly. Like, I got this. You talk to them for like 2 minutes and you're like, what do you know, like how did you even get here? And then but they're very confident and they walk in the room. They're like, I own the place. And I was envy of that because I was like, you know, I wish I could say that. And you think, oh, he's better than me, and then turn out he doesn't know shit. There's a lot, and you know way more than him. But you act like you don't know anything. But he act like he knows everything. So, so that's one thing I observed. I was like, that's interesting because I think in a workplace, like other people I meet, like the Chinese, like professionals like me, are not enjoying, like obviously, there are confident people on both sides. But like the way that like an American we want to be more humble. Owns the rooms. Like if you are too confident in a Chinese workplace, you are deemed as, this guy's a like the worst thing is to be seen as arrogant. Like you don't want to seem arrogant. But I'm like, but here you have to say, look, I got this. I got this. Exactly. You have to sell yourself and you have to like give yourself credit when credit is due. You have to market. You have to brand yourself. You have to pretend. Sometimes like even faking. Fake until you make it and figure it out. And also like when people, it's funny because when I do stand-up, right, like in the beginnings some people will come to say, hey, you're really funny, like just people I don't know if I'm the audience member. I would say no, I'm just a beginner or whatever. But what you're supposed to say is thank you. No, exactly, right? Like take a compliment. But like in China, like culture, the first reaction you have when somebody praises you for, oh, you're so good, no, it's And then here if you do that, some people will interpret it as you're humble bragging. Yes, right. So, and then that's not a good thing. Like,
that's not a good
brag
thing.
is not good. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't like that. So that was one, like, I guess, cultural difference that I've experienced, like, which I didn't really quite get in college. Because I guess it's like class projects. You know, no one really treats it that seriously.
Yeah.
Not until you go to, like, you know, actually enter a workplace.
I think I think dating or being in a relationship with an American will help, because I think my boyfriend, like, he's American. Yeah. He would tell me, hey, like, this last person, like, he was sitting there eating, and you're talking to him, and he didn't ask you to sit down with him, which means he wanted the conversation to end soon, and then you were not picking on, you're not picking up on that. Okay,
right.
You just kept talking, and then he's holding a quarter of a hamburger in his hand, and he have to stop eating and talking to you, and you should have ended that conversation like 5 minutes earlier. I'm like, I'm not paying attention to any of that.
Yeah, no, it's the social cues that you don't. I almost, like, if you didn't grow up with, like, training for it.
Yeah, you have to just figure out yourself, and sometimes it's a hard lesson. People would think, oh, you're rude, or you're weird, you're being annoying. Yeah.
Or you're being straightforward. That's good.
Oh, I'm always a very straightforward person. Yeah, but I think it's a very good conversation we have today. Yeah. I always want to end an episode with this section called Something Awesome. Okay. It's just something you want to recommend, either is a movie or music or food or anything that you want to recommend from your point of view.
Let me think. Well, I recently just finished a book. Yeah. Can I recommend a book?
Oh, sure. Okay. Yeah.
It's called Men Explain Things to Me.
Men explain things to me. Yes. About mansplaining?
Yeah, mansplaining, yeah. Yeah. So the term actually came from the essay this writer wrote. I forgot her name. I know she's very famous, but it's like a feminist, like 101 book in a way. And it's a light read. Yeah. It's not that long, and it's very interesting. Okay. And so... Is anyone want to check it out?
So what is it about? It's about feminism, or
it's a collection about of misogyny? Essays. It's about feminism. Okay. And but it's a collection of short essays. Okay. Written by the same author, and you know, in which she will talk about feminism. She will talk about mansplaining. Yeah. And like maybe like confidence. Like we talked about, like just the natural confidence of men at a workplace where women feel like, oh, yeah, I gotta earn that.
It's interesting. So to be able to identify that, you know, it's like you need to be more like, we need to just really, you know, step forward a little bit.
Yeah. So, or like, you know, if you know, your whole life was like, oh, maybe I'm not supposed to be confident. Yeah. But then like the boys were taught that they were supposed to be confident and like manly, and like how like the stereotype hurts both sides in a way.
That's interesting because it's a good read for women, and also it's a good read
for men, I think too.
For immigrants too, because for immigrants it's not about man or woman, it's about American or you're from wherever culture you're from.
In a way,
it's just like learn to be more confident. Yeah. What is it called again? The title?
Men Explain Things to Me.
Men Explain Things to Me. I'm also going to recommend a book. It's a book that I don't know if your therapist ever recommended to you. It's called Feeling Good. It's written by this psychiatrist called David Burns. Okay. And I'm usually very skeptical and, you know, cynical about self-help books. I think it's bullshit. Yeah. Just be positive or whatever. I don't buy that bullshit. So when my therapist recommended me of this book, you know, I was very skeptical, but I read it. But it's a self-help book for people who have depression or who just feel bad. You know, you don't have to be deeply depressed to read it. Sometimes it's just a period of your life. You really don't know where to go, and something happened, right? Either a breakup or a job loss, or it's a period of your life that you feel really blue. Yeah. I think this book will really help, and it's not just about be positive. It actually tell you what to do. Okay. Like about execution. You know, what exactly, there are a lot of like useful, practical, it's a very practical self-help book, and I recommend it to everybody. And I read it. I basically went to my therapist is really, really good. Yeah. And I knew that because I went to therapy for 2 times and he recommended me this book. He basically told me, I don't think you're that depressed. I think you can just, and you look like a person that likes to do research and read stuff. Just read the book. I think it will be enough.
Okay, well that's a good
instead of just so I started reading and it really helped me and it stays with me. Okay, you know, and it's a really popular book. It's a bestseller, you know, for many years. I think there's a Chinese version. Of course, there's an English version on Amazon. You can buy it, a used one on Amazon for, I don't know, under $5.
Okay.
Yeah, or
it's called Feeling Good?
Feeling Good.
Feeling Good.
And I think he has another book, which I haven't read. It's called When Panic Attacks. It's about people who have panic attacks and anxiety. I haven't read that one, but I heard that one is also really good. Okay. Like, I usually don't recommend any self-help books, but this one's really, really useful.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's today's episode. And at the end, I wanna say something like, you know, I will link the my email, you know, in the description. The thing is, I'm a comedian, so most of my guests are comedians, and I really want to interview. Like, so today you're a rare find, you know, because you're in tech. I want to find non-comedians in my show. Okay, just whatever you do. If you're a plumber, come here. If you're the president, fuck off. I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I want people from different occupations, different backgrounds, different countries to be here and talk about their immigrant experience. So please contact me if you think your story is interesting. Even think you think your story is boring, but sometimes when you think your story is boring, other people don't think so.
Yeah.
Just contact me, you know, and let's talk. Yay.
Yay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.